working on our wine bottles. I'm going to do the other side. I already did this side, and I did it with some nail polish. I even grabbed out some of my cheap old markers too. I'll show you how to do that. Now the markers in this, they're not really food safe, but we're not really drinking out of these anymore, not like on a wine glass or anything. So you can go ahead and decorate the bottle. The one nice thing about the markers is if you have kids and you want to change this, I mean, maybe you only have one wine bottle at home, you know, but you can change the decoration on your table. So I'm going to use this as an Easter centerpiece since I'm not going to get out to do a whole lot of Easter. I can put some flowers on the top that might be around the garden. I can put a little candle taper that goes up. I could do all sorts of things. If I have Christmas lights, which I don't know if I have the battery ones, I do have like the plug-in ones. I guess I could like put it over here and plug it in. You can put the Christmas lights down in and have it twinkle too. So there's lots of things you can do with this to make it your centerpiece. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating my Easter eggs, and they're going to be in grass. So, oops, I have all my nail polish on here, which is what we're going to use. I kind of raided my daughter's nail polish, and I'm going to see, look at that. I was working on my eggs. And that one I did a light broken line outline with some black nail polish. If you don't have black nail polish, you can also use a permanent marker. And there's an egg with some funfetti on it, and then I have put some of that funfetti nail polish. I call it funfetti. I guess it's like big glitter nail polish. I borrowed it from her from before. And then I had green. She had green nail polish and some marker, and I did some little grass. So what we're going to do, so I'm going to show you some stuff with the markers, and I'm going to show some stuff with the nail polish, which works really good. Ooh, dripping green nail polish in there, whatever. That's why I have this down. When we do our eggs, if you want something that can be erased and changed every single time, like this can stay for like a week and change it out. Oops, looking for my markers. I have them over here. You can use just plain markers. These are just the dollar store kind, and draw right on your bottle. Now you might not be able to see that too much. Let me get a little bit of I'll use a dark purple here so you can kind of see. That's why I use purples and blues a lot for the videos instead of lighter colors. And you can draw, see how I'm drawing right on there? Drawing my egg out. And I can do this with, as I said, just Crayola markers, regular markers, dollar store markers, and I can color it in. Now this is one way if you wanted to keep it as something that can be changed over and over. You can do that, and it can be erased. And see how that looks? I have like a little egg there. So that's something you can do if you don't want it that permanent. You want to have something that can be wiped off real easy. So then I can decorate this whole bottle up with the markers, and then later wipe it off. It's after Easter, and now I could do a different design on the bottle, make it a different centerpiece. That's something you can do if you want something that, especially kids, and you want them to just, you know, keep them busy. You can have them draw right on the glass, and then it becomes like a dry erase board. They can erase and redraw and do a different design, like almost each week or each day even, for the middle of the table. So you can do that. If you want something that's a little more permanent, you got nail polish. And nail polish is really nice. It comes in a lot of colors. A lot of people have it around the house. It has its own brush right on it. Now, most of my colors that I personally use is the lighter colors because, well, I use so much with my hands with the clays and paints and everything that doesn't last very long. But my daughter, she has tons of different colors. She even has black, she has green, she has glitter, she has blue. So I pulled out pretty much the purples and blues, green, a gold, and like this, my favorite one. I do borrow that from her a lot, the little funfetti one that has like all the little funfettis in it. You can use them any color because Easter eggs come in any color you want to make them. So it doesn't have to be, if you only have pink nail polish and you do pink nail polish and you can do the markers with it, you have a really cool thing. So what I'm going to do, as I said, I drew one there before and I erased it off real easy. It stays, then it erases. So if you want to do something that can be erased, do that. If you want something that's a little more permanent, maybe you have a lot of bottles laying around or glass and you want to do a different design for each week, or just do an Easter, couple different Easter ones. You can do flowers on one, Easter eggs, all sorts of things. I'm going to show how to do an Easter egg. And one of my favorite colors she has is this really cool metallic-y blue. And I like that one because it's really kind of cool. So I got my nail polish. And think about an egg shape. Eggs are, you know, oval, wider on the bottom, narrow on the top. So I usually start with my bottom. and paint that out. So if I paint that out, my bottom like a big smiley face. See my big smiley face? Then I can go ahead and connect that top. So the top, I could connect my little top. Ooh, there we go. There we are. So, now I have a really shiny egg. Now, as I said, nail polishes aren't my favorite thing to paint on glass with. It works really well, but it's not my favorite thing. Like regular enamel paints or thermal paints that we use like in the studio, they blend well. So I can blend, or I can let it dry a second and go over top. Nail polishes are really heavy based enamel. That also has that little bit of the alcohol smell that you smell, unless you have a low alcohol based one and they have more like a gel. You can have those. But they're made to layer more than they are blending. So that does work really well with eggs. Because when you do your eggs, like or Easter eggs or flowers or whatever, you can layer right over top, even while it's wet. It doesn't blend well, but you can layer your colors really well over top without them blending together. That's why you kind of have to watch what design you do with the nail polishes, because they're not made to just blend all over the place. There I have my little striped egg. But layering, where you put a color on top of a color even while it's wet, they're really good. Now you can also look up nail polish tutorials, and you can probably do a lot of little swirls or flowers or anything on there. I'm not going to get that complicated for this because I'm just kind of showing the technique. Like you could go in and, you know, swirl or etch away little designs into the nail polish. It stays wet for a good amount of time for you to kind of work with it. So you do have that with that. Now, as I said, I outlined my one with some black nail polish, or you can do just a marker, and that just makes it pop out a little bit more. And it's more of a broken line. Andy Warhol was one who did a lot of the broken line works. So that means I'm just kind of going along the edge and painting just a little bit, or if you're using a marker, you can do that when it's dry. And I'm just going to go in and put not a solid line, but just like a little bit along the edge. And you'll notice how it makes it pop. You can even see it right now. It's making it pop just a little bit more from my glass background. The glass is one of those things that, you know, it's clear. Unless you got a dark bottle, and then you wouldn't have to worry too much about that. But the clear ones, see how that made that pop right away? It just kind of gave it an edge instead of being just this egg that has a color on it. The glass is clear. You have that slightly translucent paint. The black line gives it more of that illustration to make sure your eye kind of goes to that. And you can see it pops it a little bit more. See how that popped? Just a bit more. Now, I'm going to do my grass. Now my grass, sometimes I do like doing, and it's a technique you can use, and as I said, it's not food safe, but it's not food. Well, it's food. It was food, but it's not going to be used for it anymore. I get my markers out. And my markers, I can do my grass. And if you want to put grass, or if you don't have, you can also do like an Easter basket style where you have that paper little funfetti kind of strips of paint. It can be any color, so you can do other colors besides grass. But see how I'm drawing my grass on there? See, I'm drawing it so I have lines. And I do have green nail polish, so I'm going to go over top of it. If you don't have green, you can also go over top of it with a clear nail polish. And now help that marker stay on there like these ones. Now, if you're doing everything marker because you want your kids to erase it over time, that's fine too. You can do it that way and just leave it. See how it just... I have my nail polishes on here again. Oh, here. I'm going to use my plate. See how that is showing up? All those little lines? Yep. And then I'm going to put my green nail polish around it. So if I want to do my green nail polish, the one cool thing, because this is water-based and this is alcohol-based, it's not going to make it run too much. So I can go right over top of my lines, all those little lines, and my lines will stay, and I'll have grass. At least I'm doing green grass. As I said, you can do a different color. If you want like pink funfetti grass kind of going on, you can do that. Now I have my Easter egg and grass. Now I have my whole thing kind of done. I have my eggs going around. You can kind of see through and see one egg from the other side, 3D. And then I can use this as my centerpiece. Now I'm going to put a little funfetti on the bottom, or you can put glitter. I just like this stuff. As I said, I think it's always really cool, especially for Easter. There, a little bit of that funfetti on the bottom, like a little bit of fun there. All right, so that is painting a bottle using nail polish. And you can look up designs. I said Pinterest, great place to look at. You can look up some different designs. If you wanted to put like a little Easter bunny in it and you have some white nail polish, you can do a little Easter bunny. You can do all sorts of things with that, but that's how I do my bottles with nail polish.